students, this is Monica, PGT in Computer Science from CGK Jain Higher Secondary School. And today I am going to teach for 12th Standard Computer Science Chapter 6 Control Structures. And this video is a continuation of my Part 1 video. In my previous video, like Part 1 video, I explained you people what are control structures and what are the types you have under it. Control structures, basically you will have a jump of control from one part of your program to the another, and you will have three types of statements in that, and I explained you the two types, sequential and your branching. The first is sequential. Sequential is nothing but you will have a simple execution, like you will have sequence of statements, it will be executed one after the other in which order the user gave it in the program. And the second type will be your branching. In that branching you will have three major types: simple if else and nested if else. Simple if is your simplest form of your decision making statement. You will have only the if condition with the block of statements. If that condition is true, the statements will get executed. Coming to the if else, you will have if condition with the statement and you will have else part also. So what happened? If your condition becomes true, your if statement will get executed. If it is false, then your else block got executed. And the third type will be your nested if else. Is nothing but you can give one or more condition in the part itself. For example, in if else you will give one condition with the else part. But coming to the nested if else if, you will have one or more condition. First condition will be under if statement, and next condition will be elif, third will be elif. If you want, you can give 5 conditions also, one after the other, and the last part will be your else statement. So based on the condition, if the first condition itself is true, that particular block will get executed. If all the statements, whatever you gave in the if and elif is false, then what happened? Your default else block will got executed. And coming to your third type, iteration or your looping constraint. Iteration or looping. Loopings are nothing but, by the name itself you can say it is loop. For example, you will have 100 lines of code. In that particular 5-6 lines will be constructed under a looping statement. That 5-6 lines can be executed one or more time without repeating the same code again in the program. So you will have three major types over here: while loop, for loop and nested loop. And while loop is your simple form, like you will give whatever conditions you want to verify in the program, you will give that condition under the while statement, and you will have a statement blocks. If that condition is true, then your statements in the while block will get executed. If that condition becomes false, then your else block will get executed. And this else statement is optional statement. If you want, you can give, otherwise you can just omit it off. So this is your example. I is equal to 10. I am declaring a variable and initializing the variable with the value I with the value 10. And my condition here is if I, while condition, I is less than or equal to 15. If my I, whatever the I value I am giving in the program, if that value is less than or equal to 15, then this print statement will get executed. So I am passing over here as 10. So 10 will be lesser than 15. So my print statement will get executed. In my print statement, I gave here I, comma, and with the tab space. So what happened? My I value is 10 and I will have one tab space, and again what happened? My I will be incremented with one value. So again my I will become 11, and 11 will be cross-checked with the same while condition, and that will also true. Then my I will be 11, it will be print, and it will give one tab statement. Again my I will be incremented by one value. So now my I will become 12. 12 will be again checked with the same condition. So by this repeated action, till my I become 15, it will be true. Again it will increment it. My I become 16. So if I am checking the same condition another time with the value 16, what will happen? My condition got false over here and my looping statement terminates. So unless my condition like while or for whatever become false, the looping statement will be executed one or more time with the same set of statements. So this is your while condition. Coming to your for loop. For loop, you will have the syntax like this: for with a variable in a sequence. If that for loop becomes true, then your block 1 statement will be executed. Same way, else is optional over here. If you want, you can give else statement. For example, if my for loop got terminated in the first time itself, it will not return any value in the output. So I can give my for loop statement terminates in the else block, so that my printout statement, whatever I am giving in the else statement, will be executed. This is an optional block. I am saying again, if you want to display something on the output screen, you can use it. Otherwise, you can just give the for loop with the statement B block 1. And this is the example over here. For I is my variable in the sequence. Range I am using. Range is the function 2, 10, 2. Starting, the range is starting from 2 and it will be ending at 10. And 2 is the positional value. It will take only the multiples of 2, like second, fourth, sixth, eighth position will be taken. So print I is equal to end, and you will have one space over here. I can give a tab space like this for a space, or I can give a blank space for a tab space. So that what happened? For I am starting here with the value 2. So first my I2 will be printed and I will have one space since I am giving here one space. And what happened? Again my for loop will get executed. So after second position, you will go to your fourth position because the range whatever you are given here is 2. So the number will be executed two numbers after, like 2, 4, 6, 8. So it will be executed like this, and the last value will not taken into account because starting value will be 2 and ending value it will be ended at my 8 itself. So 10th position will not be taken into account. So your output will be printed as starting from 2, 4, 6 and 8 with the space value whatever you given here. You can give a single space or you can give a tab space also. If I am using here a new line, what will happen? My 4 will be printed in the next line of my output statement. And my third type will be the nested loop. Nested, by the name itself, you can easily identify. You can nest it, that is, you can place one loop inside the another loop. For example, you can place for loop within for loop, while loop within while loop, or for within while, or while within for, whatever based on the program needed necessity. You can structure your program based on the necessity of your program. For example, here I is equal to 1. The value will be taken as 1 in the initial statement to the variable I. And my for condition is I is less than or equal to 6. Yes, it is less than 6 because it is 1. So 1 is less than 6. So what happened? For j in the range 1, I. So what happened? First it will print the value 1 and then it will print the value I, because 1, I will be considered in the for statement and that will be assigned to a variable j. So my printout statement will be j, end with the tab space. So what happened? First line will be printed with 1 and it will be having a tap space, and second line printed with 1 and 2, because you will give here as 1 comma I. So 1 will be default constant in all the lines. So 1 with the I value, 1 with the I value 2, that will consider as J, and third line will be 1, 2, 3, fourth line will be 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After your thing 6 will be the loop will get terminates, because the condition will be false over here. If you give the value over here, like you will increment your I value with 1, and I am giving here with a new line. So what happened, after each and every line, the next line of my program, that is my output, will be printed in the next line of my output screen. So these are the 3 types in your looping constants. And the last topic in your chapter will be your jumping statements. And jumping statements are nothing but you will have a control of flow from one part of the program to the another unconditionally. This word is the key word here. Unconditionally refers to you will not give any condition in that jump statements. You will give the keyword alone. You will have, for example, you will have break, continue and pass over here. You will just give the keyword whatever you are using as a jump statement. You will not give any condition to break or to continue your statement. And the first, coming to your first type, it is your break statement. It is nothing but the break statement, break itself, it will terminate the execution. Here is an example for the break statement. For word in jump statement. So jump statement will be stored in the variable word if that word is equal to E. If you see any character as E, then you have to break the execution and you have to print the word with the space. Same way, J will be executed because it is not equal to E. Same way, U, M, P, space, S, T, A, T, up to this will get executed. And if you reach the character E, what happened? The condition become true. If that become true, then your statement will be break over here. So your condition will get terminate, and up to this will be your output. And second type will be your continue statement. It is vice versa of your break. It will skip the remaining part and it will start from the new iteration. Same way, the same example I gave it for continue also here. If you see the character E, you have to continue. For example, the same way, like you have to start from J, U, M, P, S space, S, T, A, T. If you see the character E, then what happens? Omitting of E, M, and omitting of E, N and T will be printed, and your next print statement will be end of your program. So what happened? The difference between these two will be, if you see the character E, your statement, your condition will be terminate, and that will give you the output. And here continue, if you see the character E also, your condition is that it will continue with the execution, it will not terminate, it will start again with the new iteration. So it will omit the character E and it will print all other characters as such in the jump statement, and it will also give you end because you gave one more print statement as end. And your third statement is your pass. Pass is nothing but it returns null value. It returns nothing. That is, it has no operation in it. Example, here the variable A will be declared like integer value with the input as enter any number. So a number which are going to enter by the user will be stored in the variable A. If that value, whatever user enters, if that value is equal to 0, then the condition is passed. If it is not 0, then it will be executed your else statement with the print as non-zero value is accepted. And here I gave you two output as an example. Enter any number. If the user gave 3, then what happened? If condition will not executed, the else part will be executed because it is not equal to 0. So your non-zero value is accepted will be in your print statement. If I give input as 0, then what happened? My if condition become true, then my else part will be omitted and it will just execute the pass statement, so it will not return any value. The output statement will be blank if you give 0 as the input, because I am giving here with the keyword pass. So these are the 3 statements in your jump statements: break, continue and pass. And students, from this your 6th chapter control structures got over. I hope you clearly understood the concepts, and you have the textbook exercises given with many programs. For example, factorial, sum of the numbers, average numbers. So you have to work out all the example with the textbook exercises to make it more clear, more understandable for you. And students, I will see you in my next class. Hope you enjoyed the class today. Thank you.